this question so much because I think this is often where folks get lost and feel like they're the most isolated, like when they first start that journey. And I think about advice in terms of what would I have liked to know, right? Like at the beginning of this journey, because my journey really kind of kicked into high gear during the peak of the pandemic, and really just having the experience of the pandemic be like a kind of incubator for um, this personal transformation I was undergoing, and really being confronted with like, this is not right. And where do I start, and what is my position, and what do I do? But what I would have liked to know at the beginning, one is that you're not alone, and that you really do have to seek out community. And when you seek out community, you find that things start to fall in place, that it is not all on you to, to do this work and to engage in the undoing. It's really requiring all of us to do our part. So finding community, I think, is the first step, and resisting the impulse to like try and solve everything on your own or figure everything out on your own. And I'm going to come up with the most unique intervention and approach that no one else has ever done. Like, no, just sit down and calm down. It doesn't need to be all of that. Look side to side. Don't look up. Don't look at what the influencers or whatever are doing. Look at your environment. Look at your community. I feel like unlearning is so much about using your critical thinking skills, but also thinking holistically and listening to your body. And so paying attention to how your body reacts when you're in certain spaces and doing the work. I remember when I was in a more traditional mental health settings and just feeling so um, not even uncomfortable, but just so like at ease, and not really understanding what that was about. But that's an invitation, right? To really dig deeper and to look in, and don't run from the discomfort, because the discomfort is telling you something about your environment, that it is not you. This is a natural response to the environment that you're in, that is unhealthy, that is oppressive, that is toxic. And so lean into that. Why does this feel this way for me? Right? Like, what is this bringing up for me? And probably the last thing I would say in terms of advice is to study your history, the history of your family, so that you know a little bit more about maybe what specifically is your work to do. I think it was really a game changer for me to learn about my female ancestors who were midwives, who were spiritual workers, and I didn't even know. And so, also, just like, you are not the first one. You're not doing this alone. You were not sent here without support and guidance. So, like leaning into that unlearning and stepping into your faith, I think are really important. And your body will guide you along the way.